Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mars. This is the most exotic location I think we've been to in a while. Look at the little alien footprints. Uh oh. Uh oh. Uh oh. What's this all about? Mr. Gnome. Switch over to my usual orange nozzle. Ooh, actually, what if hold up. Did we not buy? Hold up. Hold up. What happened to? Yeah, we bought it. We can't use it on this mission, probably. Okay, I guess we can't use it on this particular mission. Okay, whatever. This is definitely not the first time on my channel that we've been away from home as far as Earth is concerned. Um, I was trying to save this map, though, and come up here to Mars, towards the end of things. So I've had a long history of being a fan of space and NASA and space travel. Not enough to be a super fan and join like forums and message boards and learn everything there is to learn about it. I like it in passing. I think it's pretty neat. Bring you over here. I was 2 years old in 1986 when the very, very unfortunate disaster happened with the Challenger probe, or not probe, the Challenger shuttle. And I vaguely remember in 2003 with the Columbia when it exploded upon reentry. I remember being pretty upset about that at the time. We quickly forget about things though over time. I think people were really still reeling from 9/11. You know, after that, it was kind of one thing after another for almost 30 years. um, but no, it it is odd to me. Like I don't believe in all of the conspiracy theories that you get when you're on TikTok and Facebook and the internet. I believe fully in NASA and science communicators. I believe we went to the moon. I don't think the Earth is flat. None of that nonsense. Um, the only question that I really have is, and it kind of answers itself. Just I'll get there in a minute. Is why we haven't been back to the moon since 1969. I think the only real reason we went to begin with was we were trying to flex. We were trying to beat the USSR in getting there. A lot of people believe that we did go eventually, but we didn't go in 1969. That's a conspiracy theory that I've learned about recently. People think that we filmed it and faked it just so that we could win the space race, but actually going there for realsies didn't occur till much later. Obviously, I believe we win in 69. I really do. Now, as far as to why we haven't been back, well, there's no oil up there for us to go and get. That's why the U.S. hasn't been back anyway. There's no country to bully for resources up there. So, um, I have been a strong proponent of not expediting uh, human problems off onto other planets and into space, but space is still pretty cool. Um, like I said, I'm not a hyper fan. I don't check like NASA's website every day and join message boards and forums and stuff, but I do occasionally check in and see what's new. And, I try to follow accounts online so I can see the latest pictures and stuff. The Artemis 2 crew has returned safely. That picture they took of Earth is my desktop wallpaper now. Probably will be for a while, honestly. I'm always setting some sort of space wallpaper. Um, I don't know. There's something about space that really speaks to me. And I think a lot of it is the desolation and the isolation. You're just away from the nonsense of everyday grind and humans. But I also like the good old fashioned exploration aspect of it. Yeah, the multicolored moon. The better our technology gets, the better pictures we get when we send astronauts into space. Isn't it glorious? Oh, the gravity! Oh, snap! Now, Mars actually has an atmosphere. It's not nearly what Earth's atmosphere is, but it has one. Um, we're not 100% sure what happened to Mars. The current theory is that its magnetic field was a little weaker than Earth's, so the sun was able to strip away its atmosphere, water, and resources over time. Um, and it just, there's a few theories out there as to what happened because Mars is in the habitable. It's in the zone that can have life. Mars can support life, but that's at least what I learned years ago. Is that something to do with the weak magnetic field? I don't know. The best part was the Mario twerking. Yeah, I saw that. somebody saw. Somebody thought they saw Mario twerking in the moon, just like the face of the man in the moon. You gotta love pareidolia. Whee! Okay. Look, I remember being super excited when this mission first started. We put I want to say, haven't we put a few rovers on the moon at this point? Um, I don't remember their names, unfortunately. Um, but the latest, I remember we all got real giddy when there was a rock that got in the wheelhouse of the rover, and it stayed there for weeks. So yeah, I used to follow the updates on social media before Twitter went under. I followed all that stuff on Twitter. I miss Twitter. I do and I don't. I mean, it was a cesspool of a place, but if you curated and followed the right accounts and didn't pay attention to assholes, Twitter was nice. You were able to stay in the know. But unfortunately, it's gone. I don't know. I might have to do this because I don't know spots I'm missing my hazard camera. I don't know what a hazard camera is. Oh, The tires, the wheel hubs, and the sensors. Okay. We'll go with sensors first. It'll be a real short job. I got something. And see, that's one of the beauties about video games. You get to go to places you'd never otherwise get to go in real life. It's beautiful. It's a wonderful thing. Absolutely wonderful. I don't think I can rotate you, Mr. Gnome. I think you just kind of there. Okay. Let's see. Huh. Boom. Now it's just the tires. Well, the tires are just going to get filthy again. Really is that one tire specifically, isn't it? How am I going to do this? How am I going to get you again? I can actually walk up under here, right? Can't now. Can't crawl up under there. Okay, hang tight. I will figure this out. Oh, snap. Angles. Boom. Wheel hubs. Wheel hubs. Wheel hubs, wheel hubs, wheel hubs. Ta-da! That didn't take long at all. Yay, we did it. What's next? Lord. All right, well that completes that. That completes the first odd job. That completes the odd jobs category. Sweet. Yeah, under career mode, clean the Lost City Palace. Under bonus jobs, the Buckingham Files. We did the truck. We still have to do the satellite dish, the solar station. That's 2 jobs. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, 11, because we already did the subway. Okay, we have 11 jobs, folks. 11 bonus jobs. Yeah. Okay, well, we're going to the desert, so get ready. So that means we'll have, all right, 12 if you count the Lost City Palace. So we have 12 jobs left to do. 11 after this, but this is a big job, so I don't know if we'll finish this all in one day. Whoa. Wonder why I couldn't use this one on Mars. Damn, that's fast. Maybe this won't take super duper long, since we have this cannon, this absolute cannon. Damn, this sucker's fast. Y'all, this is going to be over before you know it. I think this is the final upgrade that we could buy, too. I don't think I can keyboard to an easier position. There we go. Oh, yeah. Now I don't have to reach way up here on this. Woo! Look at me go! It is a trident, isn't it? Sucker's fast. I do wish the beams were a little more spread out, but that's okay. It can be it can leave streaks. Oh my god, if I do it that way, it will not. Damn. Save some for the rest of us. Oh, yeah, the backside. This is like just a metal shed, like a shipping container almost. It's made out of that same kind of metal they make those shipping containers out of. It's funny that those shipping containers are universal. Every country around the world uses those same metal, tin, aluminum, whatever the hell they're made out of. You know, the shipping containers that look like that. That's pretty funny to me. All the wars, all the cultural differences, all the violence, everything. And yet we're all still just shipping goods around the world in these giant ass, metal ass containers. Sometimes you have an accident too. Sometimes you get a rogue wave or a storm or whatever, and you lose these containers in the ocean. I think in the 80s, there was a container full of Legos that went overboard, and Legos are still washing up on beaches to this day because a container was lost at sea. It is hilarious. I mean, it sucks for environmental reasons, but it's still funny. I found out yesterday just how large the Great Pacific plastic trash reef is. I saw it when I saw it. I saw it on, I want to say, Threads. I saw a picture. Somebody had overlaid it on top of the United States. It took up the whole middle section of the U.S., like several states big. It's ridiculously, stupidly large. They were saying it's like physically impossible to clean it because it's so remote and in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. The tools and the manpower and the energy necessary to clean it, it's just a little out of our reach and scope. Um, then why did you let it happen to begin with? But that it's interesting. If you guys are unaware of it, it's worth a Google. Worth learning about. I've seen a few promising things. They've discovered a fungus that eats plastic. I don't know if that would help with ocean cleanup, but it would help a little bit with just plastic in general. They've discovered a fungus that eats nuclear waste, which is also great because that do something about Chernobyl. So we have. Well, you can let me walk all the way over here? Damn. Oh, wow. I'm surprised it let me walk all the way over here. I'll see. Is that an Easter egg over here? As far as it'll let me walk. I'm going to walk around and explore. I'll go as far as it'll let me. Tumbleweed. I'm very nosy. Walking around out here on people's private property. Oh, there's Mr. Gnome. I found you, you son of a bitch. They are here. Oh boy. You know what? Just because I know the roof's going to be cankered. What I tell you? Because I told you. Didn't I tell you the roof was going to be cankered? I told you. I don't know if I'm getting it done quicker or not because it leaves streaks. I feel like this is faster. Is this faster to you using this one? It feels faster. Well, that's that little shed done. I don't know. This feels faster to me because I'm not having to worry about the streaks. I think it might be about the same. I think we'll stick with good old orange. Mm. So it's going to glow in the sun. Ooh, I wonder if we can go inside. I want to go inside. Is that going to be like a bluish color? I think it's going to be like a blue. Cool. So I have not been out west. Um, Anytime that I've ever traveled in my life, it's always been north, south, or east. We've never had any reason really to go west. I want to though. Again, I'm not a big fan of deserts. I think deserts might be my least favorite biosphere. I know I have thalassophobia, ocean, yeah, I get it. But like, aside from that, which is outside of my control, I think the desert is my least favorite. It's hot, it's bright, it's all just sand as far as the eye can see. It's absolutely miserable, and I hate it. That's why I'm not a big fan of like westerns either. Not a big fan of the old American West, cowboys, and that kind of thing. I just don't like any of that stuff. Um, I do want to go out west and travel, and I wouldn't mind visiting places like Nevada and what have you, New Mexico, deserty areas like that, but they're not at the top of my priority list. If I'm going out west, I want to go to California, I want to go to Washington, Oregon. Uh, there's not much else for me out west other than California. You know what I mean? Like, I do apologize to people who do live in other states, but there just ain't nothing for me out there in the desert, you see. Nothing. Nothing, I say, nothing. Oh, nothing. A whole lot of nothing. Hot, dry, dead, nothing. Lord. Unless we, I do want to go to Area 51. They're never going to let us in to visit Area 51, but I do want to go visit the famous mailbox. You can get that far, I think. There are signs that say turn around, then there are signs that say, okay, we're serious. You should really turn around now. And then when you get to a certain point, they will come out and stop you and make you turn around. But it is public road up until a certain point, and you can travel as far as it'll let you go on the public road. As long as you don't trespass on, you know, government property, you'll be fine. The funny thing is, Tyler's dad told us he had been out to Area 51 and he said it was nothing special. He just said, I want to say he said it was just a nuclear site or something like that, like a testing facility. It was absolutely nothing special whatsoever. Of course, I don't know if he was just pulling our leg or if he was telling the truth. You never know sometimes. I'm pretty sure it's nothing special either. I've always just assumed it was like a aviation testing kind of facility, testing experimental not spacecraft, aircraft and stuff like that. Nothing sci-fi, nothing alien, just testing that needs to be done away from population centers for safety. Has always just been my assumption. I mean, we can romanticize it and say that they have aliens and stuff there, but like realistically, it's probably just they probably don't do anything there now. I have to assume that they probably. My suspicions for a long time have been that they run Area 51 as kind of like just for optics, for looks, to make other countries think that we're up to super secret activities when we're not out there anyway. Any real black sites we're not going to know exist. Let's just be so for real. You're not going to know about sites they don't want you to know about. But I don't know. And as curious as I am, like, I don't want to be arrested. I want to fuck with the government. I do not want to tango with them. They are already batshit insane enough lately. But I will always wonder, what exactly do they know that we don't? Again, it's fun to think about it from a fun sci-fi kind of way, but the fact of the matter is, and I've said this before, the statistics on aliens visiting Earth is that either they have already or have yet to. And the statistical probability of alien life visiting Earth during human existence is practically, it's not zero, but it's practically zero. Odds are that if aliens ever came to Earth, they would have come to Earth at a point where Earth had no life. Or Earth had basic life. Life that would be unrecognizable to us today. In its simplest primordial form. That's the most likely probability. Be careful what you say. They might hear us. Oh, they definitely. They do and they don't. Like, that's something that we've been arguing in the Discord, this year. When Discord said it was going to start doing the age verification and you were going to have to submit your ID to Discord and everything, everybody was upset because Discord has a bad track record of being hacked and selling your information. And, my hot take is that every company does that anyway, regardless of whether you give them permission or not. There are dossiers on every single one of us out there. It doesn't matter what country you're in. It doesn't matter how small your virtual footprint is. If you get online anywhere at any point and give the internet any of your information, hell, you don't even have to do that. Your internet provider will probably just give that information up for free. Because your internet provider has your name, your phone number, your home address, and everything from where you signed up for your internet. So there's no such thing as privacy anymore. That died a long time ago. And there are people who argue and say, well, don't make it easy for them. I'm like, oh, trust me, it's easy for them. You just don't know. All these attempts at anonymity, hiding behind screen names and usernames, trying to make sure your social security card is protected and out there, trying to make sure that you're, no. Trust me, your information is being bought and sold 1 million times a day across the internet on a global scale. There is fuck all you can do about it. And I'm not just saying that to be a negative Nancy. I'm telling you the cold hard facts that you don't want to hear, people. I wish beyond wish aliens would show up tomorrow. It would fundamentally change so much about what humans believe about the universe and themselves. It would just be so, on top of just being cool for aliens to show up, you know. But I think at the end of the day, you have to question like why they would, given the limitations. Given the fact that space is so large, given the energy requirements to be able to travel and near the speed of light, the technology you'd have to create, it's the probability is just so fucking slim to none, man. So slim to none. I wish though. I do wish. Wish I could be friends with aliens. Think of all the things we could learn. God, I would kill. Be able to learn from them. So yeah, no, I did worry about that for a little bit over the years on YouTube, like, oh, I need to watch what I say. I should probably watch my mouth. I'm good. I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say and then get over it. That's why I was recommending Mars Attacks. It's really funny. It's definitely a product of its time. I don't think it held up too well over the years. It's fun though. I still liked it. So I'm gonna go back to using this thing. It's my gold. See, it leaves streaks. It doesn't really. I'm still gonna have to go back in with old orange here and clean up the streaks. Don't think that the government's not above disappearing people, though. That part is very much true. They will kill you in a heartbeat. And if they don't kill you, you'll be sent to an island and never heard from again. I think most people know that already. I think that secret came out a long time ago. Because what's funny to me is you take a lot of these conspiracy theorists who get online and whine about chemtrails, flat earth, this, that, and the other. Like, NASA's fake. The moon landing's fake. This is fake. That's fake. Do you understand how many people would have to be in on it, have to successfully keep their mouths shut, have to successfully not go home and tell their spouse, and their spouse keeps their mouth shut, or their kids to overhear them, or accidentally get into their laptop one day? Like, statistically, it's impossible. People would talk, NDAs or not, people talk. Secrets would come out, whistleblowers would step forward. People do have moral compasses. At some point, somebody would step forward and say, yeah, it was all bullshit. Hey, look, the little cat paws. Wait, how is the cat walking on the side? Anyway, yeah, that's what kills me about all the conspiracy nut jobs you hear on the internet. Um, Especially the Dunning Kruger whack jobs. Um, like, just the moon landing is probably like my number one, the one that pisses me off the most. It's like, Do you know how many people would have to have successfully sat on that, as you know, and covered it up across the span of over 6 decades now, going on 7 decades at this point? Like, that's just not going to happen, man. Somebody's going to spill the beans right before they die. You know what I mean? Like, you're not taking that to your grave that we faked it, because the Cold War is long over. You would sing like a canary at this point. So, the conspiracy nut jobs always get under my skin. Not to say that there's no real conspiracies out there. I'm not saying that no conspiracy exists anywhere ever. I'm just saying that the majority of them aren't real. The ones that are real are way more terrifying and have real world consequences. Like the Epstein stuff. All these celebrities knew that bullshit was going on all this time. They knew what that island was about and didn't say anything. They all went there. It's not even just like, oh, it's Hollywood actors, or oh, it's just politicians. No. So many different people from different industries. So many different people at different levels of wealth. It's terrifying and sickening at the end of the day. Like, it makes me mad. You got the Epstein files. You got all this kitty diddling going on a grand conspiratorial world scale. And that seems to be the least of everybody's concerns. They're way more concerned about the Artemis 2 mission being faked. That makes me hate you too. You know what I mean? Just, it's annoying. Like, we live in bittersweet times, you know, all this fuck shit's going on with humans, but at the same time, we just made a trip around the moon and came back, and that's phenomenal. That's amazing. It's wonderful and exciting, and I love it. But then I have to remember the Epstein stuff, and then I get sad again. So you win some, you lose some, you know what I mean? Yeah. But now you and I probably won't be friends if you are a conspiracy whack job. Like, I don't have, I don't have the patience for it. And like, I don't want to spend the next 20 years of our friendship trying to convince you that you're an idiot. I'm just going to let you go be an idiot on your own. No. Oh yeah, I meant to see if we could go through the front door and forgot. Probably can't. Good Lord, this place is huge. Yeah, this will probably be a job that has to be separated into a few days, just because it's such a large structure. Yeah, that was true too. It really was the worst timing possible. You know what I mean? It was not great timing. And like I said earlier, I was too young to really remember the Challenger explosion firsthand. But I remember growing up in a post Challenger society. I remember learning about it in school. I remember the teachers talking about it kind of teary eyed. I had this little toy space shuttle when I was a kid, and So I do remember some of it. I remember it somewhat. But I remember it after the fact. Whatever happens in these 4 years, it will be bad timing for me. Uh, I'm kind of hoping, man. I'm hoping that we can get back to like normality. Like, I don't think, and I'm knocking on wood as I say this, I don't think things are going to escalate to 1930s Germany, but we came perilously close. We came perilously, we came dangerously close with ICE, abducting people, putting them in camps. Yeah, fuck shit has started. But I'm kind of hoping that gets dealt with when a certain jackass is no longer in charge. I'm hoping we can get somebody in charge who's going to unravel and undo the fuck shit that's been done. I'm hoping that, because let's be honest, let's be completely honest. 90% of what the United States does fucks over every other country on the planet. You guys living in other countries have to constantly hear about the dumb, stupid, fucked up bullshit that the U.S. is doing. It's like, we're going to wake up today. What has the fucking U.S. done now? Y'all, you know I'm right. No matter what country you live in, that's the world you wake up to every day. It's like, all right, what the fuck is he going to do today? And I can't say what I want to say because TOS. Well, I don't want to lose my channel. But you can infer what I want to happen based on that. But yeah. So I'm hoping, man. I'm hoping we can get back to some level of normalcy in the next few years, and things will start to calm down and settle down, and we can start living life and being somewhat happy again. You know what I mean? Like, happiness has been fleeting for a while now. We're all just miserable and depressed. And that's something I was talking to Tyler not too long ago about. Like, even when good stuff happens in our lives, it's happening under the shadow of this regime, this nightmare. You know what I mean? It's like, come on. Somebody do something already. Again, TOS, but somebody fucking do something. I am planning to try and get through a few video games this week. I was talking to Lewis about this the other day, but like Pokopia came out, we barely touched it. We've been so swamped with all these other games. Right now, I'm trying my best to get through Power Wash, Pokemon Fire Red, and Majora's Mask. I'm committed to finishing Majora's Mask this week. If we didn't have so many stages left of Power Wash Simulator, we could probably finish it this week, but that's not likely going to happen. We still have like, what I say, 11 or 12 maps left of Power Wash Simulator. Although I gotta tell you, I do think streaming on Kick has been a lot better for my audience. No ads, or at least minimal ads. I don't even know if you guys have seen any ads. Like, I'm not monetized on Kick, so if you see ads, then that's just something they're doing on their own. But I have noticed we're up to 11 followers now, I think, on Kick. So we've some people are following, you know. Yeah, I feel you wholeheartedly. That kind of broke my heart too. Like a narcissistic megalomaniac tweeting out that all of civilization is going to end the same week that we finally go back to the moon after almost 7 decades. Why? Why is this reality? Why? I feel you. I feel your pain. I'm right there with you. I think most everybody is at this point. I think the only people that are really left supporting are the Kool-Aid drinkers. And at that level of brainwashing, there's just they're radicalized to a point to where we'd have to do some serious like deprogramming, and it's not deprogramming a human brain is not going to happen overnight. That's a whole process that takes time. I do think one of the things that we really should focus on going forward, though, is using it as a teaching moment for future generations. Let teach children, start teaching children now critical thinking skills. Use all of this as an example and say, how did so many people become radicalized so easily? Why didn't they think for themselves? Why didn't they see through the charade? Why? Charades aside, though, I there's so much I can't say because of TOS, TOS, TOS. I could probably say it, get away with it on Kick, but since this is going over to YouTube, I can't. I gotta play nice. Because I don't want my channel to get yeeted into the sun. Now, who made this mess? Who made this confound mess? You know what all this sand reminds me of? Because it's such an orange sand, too. It's not like a white sand like I'm used to on our beaches. Um, have you ever had the powder drink Tang? It comes in a little plastic container. Well, these days, it comes in a plastic container and you pour it in water and it makes like an orangey drink. It's absolutely disgusting. But this is what this reminds me of Tang or Kool-Aid powder. I heard that. Sorry, I don't understand. Orange water. Yeah, it's are you familiar with like Kool-Aid, how Kool-Aid works? It's just a little powdery packet. You put it in water and it flavors your water. It's basically sugar water. Tang is the same thing. Tang is a it's just a container of orange powder and you pour it in water and you mix it and it's supposed to make like a sort of orange juice type drink. It's basically just sugar water and it's disgusting. But in its powder form before you mix it up, it looks like this. Yeah, it's called Tang, Tang. Yeah, Tang. I'm not a fan, but also I'm not really a fan of Kool-Aid either. I don't really like Kool-Aid. I don't like powdery mixed drinks. Not a fan. Not a fan. I like orange juice, actual real orange juice squeezed from an orange, but I don't like artificial orange drinks that have dyes and garbage in them. I also don't like lemon juice. I know, hot take, but I'm not a big fan of lemon juice. It's too acidic. It's too acidic. Oh, you were thinking I said tank? Yeah, no, my bad. Tang. That's my bad. You know what famous movie I've never seen? First Contact with Jodie Foster. I know about it. I know the plot twist, unfortunately. The internet spoiled that for me years ago. But I've never actually taken the time to sit down and watch it. I did watch Frequency, though. Frequency's really good. But I need to watch Contact. I called it First Contact. That's Star Trek. Contact with Jodie Foster. I need to watch that. If you haven't seen Frequency, Frequency is a really good movie, too. I can't really tell you the plot without spoiling the movie, but I enjoyed that one. Grape flavored? Grape flavored might be good, actually. I could probably do grape flavored, maybe. No. See, I have a hard time with fruit flavored drinks. I don't particularly like fruit flavored drinks. I don't like fruit flavored things. I don't like fruit flavored candy, fruit flavored foods, like suckers, hard candies, candy bars. I don't like candy or I don't like fruit flavoring on stuff. Like when it comes to fruit, I like the actual real raw fruit itself, the way nature intended. Um, but I have a hard time with candies, drinks, lemon can. No, I don't like lemon candy either. No, I don't like lemon. I don't like lemon stuff. I don't want lemon. I know. Sad, right? Everybody else enjoys it. I don't. We're only at the 40% mark. Goodness. We've been spraying nonstop too. That's the funny thing. Like we're getting it done. It's just such a large structure. She big. She a big one. A big gal. I'm swooing like I'm actually doing this in real life. I'm going shwoo. I'm engrossed. So I've been working on a project. Can't talk much about it now because it's a big secret. What I can say is that for the next, what month are we in? April? So it's April, May, June, July, August, September, October. Next 7 months, I'm going to be working on something. And I'll have, I think you guys are going to like it. Oh, you never tried the candy corn? Oh, people hate those. I love candy corn. I'll eat it until I make myself sick, and I do it every year, and I like it. I like getting sick off that stuff. I like candy corn. I'm sick like that. I'm disgusting in that way. I tell you what I don't like though, and I'm right there with everybody else, are those disgusting little hearts that they make during Valentine's Day. I forgot what they're called. Those little chalky, gross heart Valentine's Day can't. No, gross, disgusting. These candies are chalky and unpleasant. And look, this one has the word love misspelled. Certainly, it's spelled. Certainly, they spelled it love with an earth L. No, they spelled it with an earth W. Behold, this concept of love both confuses and infuriates us. Right. All that's from Futurama. If you have no idea what in the world I'm talking about, I'm just literally quoting Futurama. Lore from the planet Omicron Persei. Futurama was brilliant. I'm just gonna. Can we talk about? We don't talk about Futurama enough on this channel. Futurama might be one of the single greatest cartoons of all time, and I know that's a high, bar to jump over because there have been so many great cartoons over the years. But Futurama, like, here's the thing: South Park is great. Matt and Trey are comedic geniuses. They have a lot of really great satire and hot takes that I really like. I like the first few seasons of Rick and Morty. And over the years, there have been tons of other cartoons. Family Guy was funny for a handful of years before it got up its own ass and unfunny. Cleveland Show was okay. American Dad was great. I loved American Dad. But I think Futurama, for me, it holds a special place in my heart. Because when it comes to things like The Simpsons and Futurama, you had to be educated to write for those shows. You had to know what you were doing. They didn't just hire some writers off the street to come in and say, okay, write for us. Especially on Futurama. A lot of the writing staff on Futurama were mathematicians and scientists, people who had degrees, doctorates. The people who wrote Futurama were smart. And a lot of the jokes, especially in the first handfuls of Futurama, would go over our heads because we're, everyday schmoes, lay people who don't work in science fields and whatnot. So, no, Futurama was bloody brilliant. It was an absolute masterpiece until it wasn't. It had some of the best writing I've ever seen too. It had episodes that were downright comedic genius. It had episodes that were philosophical that really made you think. It had episodes that were real well written and had those la 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 moments that tugged at your heartstrings. No, Futurama was special. No other cartoon in the history of Earth can hold a candle to how special Futurama was. Nobody. Nobody. You hear me? Nobody. But now I forgot why I brought all that up. God damn it. Oh, yeah, because I was quoting it, the candy thing. Yeah. Futurama aged better than The Simpsons. It did. Um, I held on to The Simpsons for as long as humanly possible. I kept watching The Simpsons all the way up to season 30 ish. I have not watched the most recent season because it's really hard to watch. The Simpsons now is extremely hard to watch. Extreme. It's just it's awful. Um, but I did hold out a lot longer than most people. I held out longer than any of my friends did. I can tell you that. Tyler quit watching The Simpsons over a decade or so ago. He quit a long time ago. But I lasted till roughly season 30. Now they're making another Simpsons movie, and he said he'd be willing to go to the theaters and watch that. I'm definitely going to the theaters for that too. Now I'll go watch a Simpsons movie. But now I will say that last season of Futurama that came out, it wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. It was kind of bad. I'm kind of hoping that they either shape up or just stop. Because if you keep on keeping on, you're just going to run into the Simpsons problem. It's time to let these things go. And I think, and I talked about this the other day, and I don't know what game I was playing, so forgive me if you can't find it somewhere on my channel. But Rich Evans from Red Letter Media said this one time, and truer words have never been spoken. Our generation just cannot let go of our toys. We cannot let go of our shows, our cartoons. We cannot let go of our childhood. It's a millennial thing. It's a Gen X thing. For whatever reason, we are just deadlocked into being grown men in their 40s, 30s, 40s, and 50s who keep buying toys, plushies, and stuff, watching cartoons, and just clinging to the nostalgic scraps of the past. Now, I'm paraphrasing, most of that's coming from me, but he said we're a generation that just can't let our toys go. That's what Rich Evans said. I added all the rest. And it's true. And for whatever reason, we just can't let things go. We keep these movies and these TV shows and these game franchises alive long after they've reached their expiration date. But I think that you were absolutely correct. Futurama aged way better than The Simpsons ever did. Way better. And when he said that, I don't think he was saying it judgingly or out of malice. I think Rich Evans was just trying to make a point, like we're a generation that hangs on to that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And again, I don't think he was trying to be an asshole when he said it. I think he was just trying to be factual. But he wasn't wrong. Uh-oh. There's not too many YouTube channels left on my lineup. I've been losing so many YouTube channels lately, and I've noticed that YouTubers are making less and less content these days. This would help if I stood up. Alrighty. I believe you might be in the way, love. Let's move you right here. I might have to move the ladder back. Even though I just moved you. Go up top. There we go. Now I can reach. Ooh, we should also try the door while we're over here. I know it's not going to work, but I'm going to try it anyway. There we go. Okay. I'm also going to have to go all the way around and make sure to get the trim to. Well, this works. That works. Okay, I didn't know I could stand up here like this. Oh, wow, I missed a lot of little spots. Okay. Okay, let me get in there. See how bad it is. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. Look at that. Little smidge here and there. Nothing I can't blast away. Uh-oh. Now we're getting into some green on the ceiling. Steady. Steady. Boom. Damn. I was hoping that would be the rail system too. Okay. Yep. I got that much done. We got a lot done today. We went to Mars. And then we came back and started working on this damn satellite. That was after working on Majora's Mask earlier. See, I held up my end of the bargain. I told you guys months and months ago we were going to start doubling down on the streaming so we could get through more games. I meant it. I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. Elephants loyal 100%. Or faithful. I don't remember the actual lyrics. Was that a Bugs Bunny thing or a Disney thing? I can't. I want to say that was Warner Brothers. It was a cartoon where somebody had tricked an elephant into sitting on their egg. I don't remember what cartoon that was. But I always remember that poor elephant being taken advantage of. Remember seeing that as a kid and thinking, God damn, people are evil. That poor elephant went through so much bullshit. Storms, people trying to steal the egg, other stuff I can't remember. And I think it was all just, I think it was like a goose or a duck or something, I think. All because she wanted to gallivant and be a whore. We have like 2,800 Jurassic Park games to play this Jurassic June as well. Don't even plan to see any non Jurassic Park games this June. I have learned recently about Jurassic Park games I didn't even know existed. Plus, Tyler is working on trying to figure out the arcade emulation stuff because there have been a handful of Jurassic Park arcade games over the years. And I would love to be able to emulate those and play those on stream as well. If you go back and look at my latest vlog that I put out a few months ago, we actually found a working Jurassic Park arcade machine on that trip that we took. I played it and recorded the whole thing too. I don't know if you guys saw that in the vlog or not, but secret Easter egg let's play hidden in a vlog. I've been meaning to go back and look at my vlogs too. I want to take a moment one day and I want to sit down and look at my vlogs and see where I've been and what all I've done. See if I can't get some idea for new vlogs. Because I've deleted and re-uploaded those things so many times over the years, edited, re-edited, taking out copyright songs and stuff. I know the quality, like I wasn't keeping hard copies of my video footage back then. I am now, but I didn't used to back then, fortunately. So I'd have to download the compressed version off of YouTube, edit it, put it back up, download that second generation compressed version. Yeah, some of those videos might have a really hard quality to them, like 480 or something, but it's because they were uploaded and re-uploaded so many times. That doesn't happen anymore on my channel, but it did happen quite a bit back when I didn't have a lot of storage space. I have since invested time and money into buying better and bigger hard drives, so I can house all my stuff now without a problem. Back then, not so much. Not so much. Yep. I knew it. I knew there was going to be some on the bottom of it. Did I know it or did I know it? Speaking of TV shows, and I think I've mentioned this in every stream I've done recently, but you guys should be watching Primal. It is so goddamn good. It's from the creator of Dexter's Lab and Samurai Jack. Oh my God, it's so good. I think it's the best thing he's ever done, honestly. It's so good. Yeah, the two T-Rexes that were chasing us. Yeah, it was fun. The only problem with arcade games is they're made to be notoriously difficult to eat your quarters. So think about some of the playthroughs we've done on my channel over the years of like Metal Slug. Those games were originally designed to be quarter eaters. So you'll notice that we die a lot. A lot of old school video games before the home console era were designed for you to die a lot, basically. You learned through trial and error. It was a patience game back in the 80s. You go to the arcade, take a sack full of quarters or a sock full of quarters with you or whatever. You stand at the machine for hours on end if you didn't get bullied out of the way by a bigger kid. And you would stand there and try and try and try until you ran out of, quarters. Now, I didn't have that experience, but that seems to be the cliche experience that media has taught me about. I didn't grow up going to arcades. I grew up with having an NES in our home, the Nintendo Entertainment System, and then we had an SNES. You know, we always had a Nintendo in our house. I'll say that much. We always had a Nintendo on hand. We might not have had a ton of games for it, but we had a Nintendo and we had Mario. We had that much. I remember one year, I think for Christmas, or I think it was for Christmas, we got a Sega Genesis one year. And it was the Mario 2 or the Sonic 2 bundle. That was nice. It's kind of why we're here today. It's always kind of been my thing to do when I'm bored. But, oh my God. One of the other stages is a giant train in the desert, and I wonder how long that's going to take. We just did that Back to the Future train, too. I was reading the other day, I was doing a little research into the YouTube algorithm and trying to learn what the most modern version of the algorithm does and how it operates. And one of the things that I was reading is that these days it is absolutely imperative you do not name your episodes with numbers in them. Do not put part 2 or part 3. Don't do that. Like the algorithm will take one of your videos at random, like part 18 out of a playthrough, and it'll show it to people. And they don't watch, it'll say, well, they're not interested in a full playthrough, and it'll ignore. The same goes for like regular videos too. This one of the reasons that like dead subscribers are so detrimental to a YouTube channel's growth. The algorithm will take like if I upload a video tomorrow and none of my subscribers watch it, that tells the algorithm and triggers the algorithm to say, well, even the people who like his content and have subscribed to him are not interested in this video, so I'm not going to bother promoting this video to other viewers. So that's why channels on YouTube do not grow if you have subscribers that don't watch. And that's what's, one of the bigger things that's fucking me up now. I'm also very old, boring, and I don't play the hot cutting edge games that some of these young men play. So they kind of beat me out on the fact that I'm old. I don't do a lot of jump cuts and edits too, which is not really YouTube style. My long plays, as they call them, are not really, they're not the most popular thing on YouTube. But I'm thinking that what I might start doing is going in and not naming my episodes with part numbers in them, and see if the algorithm will push them a little more. And then after about after a few days, I'll go back and name them properly and put the number in there. What I could do is start taking the numbers out completely and just putting the number in the thumbnail. Be like part 1 in the thumbnail, but I don't know if the algorithm scans the thumbnail too. It might see a 1 or a 2 or a 3 or an 8 in that thumbnail and think, okay, well, this is part of a series. So I'd have to look into that too, because I don't know. But I know that the article I read, or no, well, it wasn't an article. I was talking to the Gemini, the Google Gemini, because I don't do Chat GPT anymore. I deleted my accounts when I found out like a right-wing terrorist bought it. No, I do. I do the Google Gemini now when I want to have a deep conversation about something. Um, but yeah, it was telling me that that's basically what it was able to skim from the internet and deduce is that you need to stop putting episode numbers in my titles. All right, I'll think about it. I will think about it. Damn it. Which I know it's telling the truth because I don't have episode numbers on my Jurassic Park videos, and they always do pretty well. They always at least reach the double digits in views. Sometimes they'll be sitting at 45 views or four. Why'd I go so country? They be sitting at 45 views. Sometimes my videos, my Jurassic videos, will be in the double digits. Some are sitting at 45 views or 20 views, which is better than the 1 to 2 that my gameplay videos sit at. So, yeah, that's that. Into that conversation, I suppose. You'll. I think the older I get, the more my southern accent from my childhood is trying to make a hardcore comeback. Not that I ever got rid of my southern accent completely, it's still there, but I used to sound way more country when I was younger. You know, I talked like this when I was younger. I ain't know no better. And I grew up and I was like, I sound like a redneck hillbilly hick. I really should teach myself how to speak. So yeah, I worked on that. Yo, yo, I'm Banjo. Whoa. Wait, I wasn't ready to start on that top part yet. Damn it. I have a question. Sure. What's your question? What is question? Damn it. How'd I miss this dirt? Oh, snapperoonie. We missed quite a bit down here. Um, yeah, yeah. I think I've always kept my Jurassic Park content to YouTube. Um, except for like when we do gaming streams, that stuff usually gets streamed over on Twitch. But since we've kind of decided to walk away from Twitch for a while, um, oh yeah. Uh, if we do, if we're playing Jurassic Park games, no. We'll probably play them here on Kick like we do everything else when I stream. But as far as like pre recorded videos that don't get streamed, yeah, you won't see that stuff anywhere else. I do, talking about my vlogs earlier, I need to go back into my vlogs and see if there's any Jurassic Park content that made it into the vlogs that might be worth their own standalone videos. I need to do that. One needs to. Oh boy, this part's gonna be fun. I guess cleaning the top of the dish is probably actually going to be legit fun, though. Damn, that's only 2 months away as well. June is only 2 months away. April, May, June. Well, at least by June, we'll have finished Majora's Mask, Fire Red, and Power Wash Simulator. I hope. Hope. I I can't see me spending another 3, 4, 5 months playing these games. By then, we'll have long finished these. Um, Now the thing that's going to really be sad about that is that we won't have them to play anymore. Of course, there is Power Wash Simulator 2. We are going to pick that up. I just kind of don't want to play it immediately after Power Wash Simulator. I'd like to maybe space it out a little bit because I probably not the best idea to just turn around and start the sequel immediately. Because I tried to do that with like Portal. I tried to space Portal and Portal 2 out a little bit. I tried to do it with some of the other games, not in the early days of YouTube, but like later on I did. Um, that very first year of doing YouTube, I was doing everything back to back. I did Sonic, then Sonic 2 and 3 immediately. I did Mario, then Mario 2 and 3 not too long after. Um, yeah, I was moving pretty quick through sequels back when I first started. I think I did Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2 almost back to back as well. But we'll put a little space between the two Power Wash Sims so that we can play some other stuff. I need to catch it when it goes on sale too. Damn it. I keep having to move this thing to wash one tiny little spot. Oh, we've been here for a while today too, so we might wrap this up here in a minute. This rail has been really fun. Oh, the door. Yeah, it doesn't open. The doorknob. We didn't get the doorknob. I just remembered I'm bald. What I mean is, I just remember I didn't wear a hat today for this. I felt the breeze and I was like, wait a minute, where's my hat? Getting tired. Lord. Wait, this is about where we started. Really? I can see dirt all the way from over here. You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. Come here. Mm-hmm. Too far up. I didn't go over far enough. Oh, we got the blue part. That's 60%. Not bad. That's not bad. And all for a day's work. I think that might be all of the railing. Okay. And I think that might be all we do for the day, the whole day, because I'm wiped. I need to refill my water, go to the bathroom. Handprint. Fine, I'll at least do this, because it's calling my name. After that, we're done for the day. It's just too perfect. OCD, OCD. I tell you what really sucks about a game like this or watching it as a let's play. If you don't vibe with the way somebody's cleaning it, it can grind your teeth. You know, like, oh, I would do it differently. Oh, I would wash this spot before that spot. I gotta imagine that's probably one of the more bigger difficulties watching this, like watching somebody else play it, is it grinding your gears the way they do it? You know what I mean? Because it would drive me batshit insane. So I have to imagine it drives everybody else batshit insane too. Like, okay, I washed you. Why are you still green? Why haven't you dinged? Ding, bitch! Get to the top. Why can't I fucking walk up there? You skank. It is. I think the dirt or the sandy desert stuff is far more. I don't know. I'm starting to find it far more fascinating, or not fascinating, but like it's tickling that same part of my brain that it tickles with people's ASMR, whatever the hell. Knowing that you're spraying all this water on an extremely dry, arid surface and environment and hydrating it. Oh, it's satisfying. It's sad. It's like when you're watching a TV show or something and somebody puts fire out with water and your whole body gets a chill. That's what this is giving to me. Washing away all this sand on these sand stages. It's like, oh, finally hydration. Thank God. Oh no, is that going to be one big piece? Like, do I have to do all four of these legs too, in order for it to ding that? Yep, yep, that's going to be the case. All right, well, I'm not doing that today. I can't even. Oh my god. Well, that's good enough. All right, that's what we'll call it. Because I'll just keep going if I don't make myself stop. Where are you now? We're 40 minutes in, which is pretty long for a YouTube video. Pretty long indeed. All righty. Thank you guys so much for being here for another episode of Power Wash Simulator. See you back here next time.